Hi, welcome to another in Everything Dinosaurs series where we review the new for 2020 prehistoric animal models coming out from Collector. Today we're going to talk about 5 new models for 2020. 1 pterosaur, 1 dinosaur and 3 invertebrates. So let's jump in. The first model we're going to discuss is a pterosaur. It's this one. Say hello to Caviramus. This is going to be in the Collector Supreme Deluxe range because the model is going to be in 1 to 2 scale. Caviramus was part of a very weird pterosaur group, probably related to the Rhamphorhynchids. And these things were around for about 40 million years. And they're the first type of pterosaur to show these marvellous crests, which became such a staple within the Pterosauria later on. And the actual Caviramus itself was a very weird, peculiar pterosaur. It had long legs, a long tail, and quite slender wings. Its jaw will be articulated, and we don't actually know what this pterosaur actually ate. It probably ate what we call durophagous things, hard shell things. It may have fed on mollusks and other seashells on the seashore. Caviramus is going to come out in the middle of 2020, 1 to 2 scale model, and it's going to be roughly the same size as this model here, the Collector Supreme Deluxe Dimorphodon, which came out a couple of years ago, and it's in stock at Everything Dinosaur now. It's great to see Collector making more large pterosaur models, particularly something like Dimorphodon and indeed Caviramus, some of the more unusual members of the pterosaur family tree. So, now we've covered pterosaurs. Let's move on and discuss the second new model coming in the middle of 2020 from Collector. It's this one. Collector will be adding a model of a trilobite to their portfolio. Not just any trilobite, but a apex predator trilobite from the late Cambrian. This is Redletia rex, one of the largest trilobites known from the late Cambrian, and indeed the largest species of trilobite described ever from Australia. These animals grew to about 30 centimetres long. The model itself is just under 10 centimetres long, so it's going to be about 1 to 3 scale. It's great to see Collector making a model of a trilobite, not just any trilobite, but one of the biggest trilobites known from the late Cambrian, a predator. Oh, and talking of predators, before the vertebrates really came to the fore, there was a bit of an arms race between 2 great animal phyla. The arthropods, like the trilobites, and the later sea scorpions. And then they were challenged for dominance in marine environments by these guys. Because Collector are going to introduce a model of Orthoceras into their model range in the middle of 2020. A model of a straight-shelled nautiloid, if I can say it, an orthoconic nautiloid to give its precise term. And Orthoceras was one of those animals that grew to sometimes maybe around 10 metres in length, the world's first large marine superpredator. And it's wonderful to see the Collector introducing a model of an Orthoceras into its model range. The figure will measure about 15 centimetres long, and those beautifully sculpted arms, they're about 8 centimetres in diameter. Look out for Orthoceras coming out in the middle of 2020. Oh, and on the subject of cephalopods, the 4th model that Collector will be introducing is this. A replica of a nautilus. Nautilus pompilius, sometimes referred to as the emperor nautilus because it's actually quite large. Some of the animals in the wild grow to about 10 inches in diameter. This model is a bit smaller. The shell's going to be about 10 centimetres in length. But the model itself is still beautiful nonetheless. And we love the idea of showing the counter shading with the slightly darker shell and the slightly lighter shell, which is very typical of what we see with nautiloids. This animal certainly wasn't around at the time of Orthoceras. It's much more recent. This type of nautiloid has a fossil record which dates back around 1.8 million years. Look out for it coming to stock at Everything Dinosaur in the middle of 2020. And finally, we wouldn't be called Everything Dinosaur if we didn't talk about a dinosaur to conclude this video. The last new model that we'll be discussing, coming in from Collector in 2020, is this. It's a new colour variant of the rearing Diplodocus model that came out a few years ago. This new rearing Diplodocus colour variant is going to be in elephantine grey. So it's going to be kind of like a representative of this model, but in a different colour scheme. Same size, about 21 centimetres long, with a rearing height of about 23 centimetres altogether. This is going to be available in early 2020 at Everything Dinosaur. A new colour version of the rearing Diplodocus from Collector. We'll post up some more information about these new models and a link to our blog post underneath the video. That's it. We've covered 18 models from Collector in 5 videos. I hope you've enjoyed this, and don't forget to give us a like and subscribe if you've not done so already, and please check out our blog article because we'll have some more information about the models and more information about the animals that are represented by those models in our latest blog post. And on that note, I'll say thank you.